Well, thank you very much, Emma Bay, and Dana, thank you very much. Well, after such an illuminating and empathetic talk, I feel like I'm a bit superfluous, but I'd like to say a few words, which is really based on my personal experience. I'm one of those formerly infamous State Department Arabists who spent more than 20 years in the Arab world in 5 different countries and had many Muslim friends and very much exposed to it. And I should say where my ideas come from. First, they come from the Unitarian Universalist Church, which believes in the essential dignity and truth of all religions. It was once said by Will Rogers, he said that I'm not a member of any organized political party, I'm a Democrat. So you could possibly say I'm not a member of any organized religion, I'm a Unitarian. But the Unitarians are very interested in our services. We frequently quote from Sayyid Jalaluddin Rumi, also from Muhyiddin ibn al-Arabi, and indeed we even have a hymn with the famous words of Jalaluddin Rumi inviting all people to come and join him. But my experience is really that, also that I became very interested early on in one great Muslim thinker, modern thinker, Muhammad Asad, who started life as a Galician Jew and became one of the great Muslim thinkers of the 20th century. But of course now, thanks to the Rumi Forum and others, I've learned a great deal more about the Honorable Fathallah Gulen and the service movement. And it seems to me that we need many more of such people, intelligent, who are preaching and talking about bringing people together. But my personal experience in the Arab world is, I think, make me realize, and I hope many of you have the experience to spend some time in the Muslim world, because Ramadan is really a wonderful experience. When you understand what this means to people, it's both to be part of a larger world community, to reach out to other people. It's a month that really strengthens family bonds, because there's it's not just religious, it's familial, but it's also a time of great reflection for people. Now, Islam varies in different countries, of course, and countries themselves vary. I was lucky or unlucky enough to be in Iraq at the time of Saddam Hussein, so that certainly wasn't very much like living in Saudi Arabia as I did, or even I lived in Syria under at the time of Hafiz al-Assad. And you realize that it is not easy for Muslims in many of these countries. I didn't see as much as I would have liked to in Iraq, simply because it was impossible for Iraqis to have, ordinary Iraqis to have contact with Westerners. It was very dangerous for them to do so. But I remember, I have many friends from Yemen, where I spent a total of 7 years, and who I admire very much in their religion. I would tell you one story in that during Ramadan, we were out dedicating a project during Ramadan, and Yemeni houses, the main room known as the Mafraj, are quite narrow with seats all the way around on the floor. And it was time for the afternoon prayer, and people lined up. They could only line up 4 across, and then there were many ranks. And I looked at the front row as they began to pray, and 2 of the people had their hands by their side, their arms by their side, and 2 people had their arms crossed. In other words, 2 of them were Shia and 2 of them were Sunni, and they were all praying together. I also remember very much in Syria how difficult it was for people. I remember 2 good friends particularly. One, a doctor whose daughter married the public affairs officer at the embassy, and he used to describe to me how he would read the Quran every night, and he would find new wonders in the Quran every evening when he read it. And the other person who was very fine was the head of the engineer syndicate. And he described to me again how he would stay up all night reading the Quran, and how much this renewed him, renewed his spirit. And here, of course, are 2 people, highly educated, modern people, yet for them, religion, the Quran, Islam, are really the core of their being. So I hope some of you will have a chance I know many of you have been to Turkey who are not Muslims, and some of you, like me, have had an opportunity to visit thanks to the Rumi Forum. And I hope others of you will have a chance to see during Ramadan and understand how much this means to people and how much it renews them. So again, I want to thank you very much, Merbe. Thank you for all your kindness, and I recommend that you should by all means also go to Turkey, and you could see Islam in the modern world, in the contemporary world, and you will see the spirit of the service movement inspired by Fethullah Gulen, and the incredible thing that these modern educated Muslims are doing in service of their fellow human beings in universities, schools, hospitals, clinics, but also in giving a new spirit to a country, which demonstrates that religion is entirely compatible with the most modern of societies. Well, thank you very much.